Marry my daughter and sire strong heirs upon her. The alien queen decreed. That is your duty now, human. Queen Vera's voice sliced through the vaulted court chamber. Envoy Elias Mercer, you will wed Princess Saris and sire her heirs. The alliance demands it. Elias stood rigid on the polished obsidian dais, chains of iridescent alloy loose around his wrists. The queen's throne loomed above, flanked by holographic displays flickering with fleet positions. Her multifaceted eyes locked on him, unblinking. Courtiers in scaled armor murmured from shadowed alcoves. He scanned the assembly. Princess Saris knelt to the queen's right, her lithe form clad in silver filaments that shifted like living metal. Her gaze met his, cool, assessing. Chancellor Odrin hovered nearby, data slate in hand, lips curled in calculation. Warden Kor loomed at the chamber's edge, armored bulk radiating suspicion. Elias straightened. With respect, Your Majesty, I need her consent first. Gasps rippled through the court. Vera's crest flared, iridescent spines quivering. Consent? This is no human marketplace. The contract binds bloodlines for the Empire's survival. Saris tilted her head, spines half raised in curiosity. Odron leaned in, whispering urgently. Elias kept his eyes on the princess. Princess Saris, do you agree to this marriage? Freely? Silence crushed the air. Saris rose slowly, her movements fluid, predatory. She stepped forward, towering 8 feet, her skin a mosaic of deep blue scales that caught the light in hypnotic patterns. Human, you question the queen's decree? I question treating anyone like a bargaining chip. Elias held her stare. Say yes or no, your choice. Vera's claws tapped the throne arm, yet intriguing. Saris? The princess circled him, nostrils flaring to scent his resolve. Her voice hummed, laced with subsonics that vibrated his bones. Duty compels me. But you prove your worth beyond words. Audrin interjected smoothly. Majesty, this delays the pact. Human fleets encroach. Vera waved him silent. The marriage proceeds. Warden Kor, confine the envoy to the eastern wing with Saris. No exits until heirs quicken. Kor's gravelly voice rumbled. As ordered. He breaks, we contain. Elias felt the chains tighten as Kor hauled him toward the arched exit. Saris fell in step beside him, her presence a cool draft of alien scent, ozone and spice. The palace wings sealed behind them with a hydraulic hiss. Marble-veined walls curved into a labyrinth of chambers, a central atrium with glowing crystal fountains, sleeping alcoves draped in silken webs, and a vast bedchamber dominating the rear. Ceres faced him, spines fully erect. House rules bind us now. Breach them, and the contract voids, lethally. Elias rubbed his wrists, scanning for exits. None. State them. 1. No touch without ritual exchange. She extended a clawed hand, palm up. 2. Share sustenance only after vow sync. Her eyes narrowed. 3. Night cycles demand the bonding rite. Fail, and palace guards execute the weak link. He nodded once. Clear. But that last. She cut him off, activating a wall panel. A table extruded, laden with steaming platters, writhing tendrils, crystalline fruits pulsing with light. Eat first. Prove compatibility. Elias eyed the food. The tendrils quivered, barbs glinting. How? Core dive. Sarah speared a tendril with her claw, bit deep. Bioluminescent sap oozed. Ingest the heart nucleus. It syncs our physiologies, or rejects intruders. She swallowed, spines relaxing fractionally. Her turn complete, she offered him one. Your move, consort. He took it, feeling the barb prick his thumb. Blood welled, the tendril convulsed in his grip, nucleus swelling. Court protocol flashed in his mind. Diplomatic poisons, alien biologies. But this felt off, too reactive. One bite, the nucleus burst, acid searing his tongue. He chewed fast, forcing it down. Heat bloomed in his gut. Ceres watched intently. Good. Now the vessel right. She produced a slender vial from her belt, filled with swirling vapor. Inhale shared breath, it binds lungs to lungs. Elias accepted it. The vapor inside churned faster than hers had. He inhaled shallow, then coughed as fire lanced his throat. Vision blurred, his pulse hammered. Saris's spine snapped full erect. Weakness? Already? Pain spiked. His lungs burned. The vapor condensed into needles. This wasn't sync. It was rejection. Escalating. He dropped to one knee, hand clamping his throat. Ceres loomed. Claws half-drawn. Fail the right, human. Guards? No. Elias rasped, mind racing. Diplomatic crash training kicked in. Human emergency procedure. ABC. Airway first. He slammed his fist into his solar plexus. Heimlich reflex. Air whooshed out, expelling the vapor in a glowing cough. Then, quick breaths. In for 4. Hold 4. Out for 4. Stabilize oxygen. The burning eased. He stood, wiping sap from his mouth. Not failure. Countermeasure. Your right's toxin overloaded. I purged it. Saris froze, nostrils flaring. She snatched the vial, inhaled the residue. Her eyes widened. Impossible. The nucleus. It was tampered. Barbs laced with Vesperin, lethal to off-worlders. Elias glanced at the platter. One tendril missing its barb. Sabotage. Someone wants this marriage dead. She deactivated the alarm panel before it chimed. Chancellor Odrin's aides prepared the meal. He profits if I remain unwed. Footsteps echoed, Kor's heavy tread. The warden burst in, blaster drawn. Report. Breach? Saris waved him back. False. The human adapted. Her spines lowered, curiosity sharpening to respect. You saved yourself without my aid. Kor grunted, holstering his weapon. Monitored the feed. Vesperin's signature confirmed. Source. Kitchens. Odrin's orders? Investigate quietly. He earned it. Kor eyed Elias anew, wary respect in his stance, then withdrew, alone again. Ceres circled closer. You demanded my consent. Now, I demand truth. Why fight for it? Elias met her gaze steadily. Partnerships built on force crumble. I solve problems. Together, we expose Odrin, secure the alliance my way. She paused, claws brushing his arm. First touch. Electric. Human ways. Unorthodox. But effective. Her voice softened, subsonics humming warmth. The night rite awaits. With consent? He smiled faintly. Yours first. As she led him to the bedchamber, a chime echoed from the atrium. Vera's seal on the door. Confinement tightened, but so did trust. Odrin's shadow loomed larger, plotting in the wings. Elias gripped the vile remnant. Time to turn defense into counterstrike. Saris shoved the bedchamber door wide. Heavy crystal panels swung inward on silent hinges. Elias stepped across the threshold, vial shard still clenched in his fist. She followed, spines flaring briefly at the room's dim glow pods. Vera's seal. No exits until dawn rite completes. Elias scanned the space. A vast bed dome dominated, woven from bioluminescent vines that pulsed soft blue. Side chambers branched off, hygiene alcove, data terminal, viewport sealed with force shield. No weapons visible. No escape vectors. Saris barred the door herself. Click. The chime from the atrium faded. Now, human, truth first, or no right. He set the vile remnant on a side plinth. Call me Elias. Truth. Your mother wants heirs. My government wants alliance. Force fails both. Consent binds stronger. Her claws tapped the plinth edge. Subsonic rumble vibrated the air. Amusement, skepticism, human consent. Novel. But courts demand writs. Tomorrow, we formalize at Clerk's Vault. Survive the palace walk first. Elias nodded. Lead on at first light. I'll follow your rules. She circled him once, nostrils flaring at his scent. Rules save lives, or end them. Her claw pointed to his stance. Feet too square, signals challenge. Shift left, deferential arc. She nudged his boot with her own scaled toe. Eyes down unless spoken to. Stares provoked dual glance. He adjusted instantly, feet angled, gaze to her shoulder. Got it. More. Touch only with leave. Claws retract for allies. She extended one, razor sharp, then sheathed it. Voice low, no barking laughs. Humans bellow. It mimics war cries. Her spine smoothed. Obey, and guards ignore you. Elias filed it away. Practical. Survival protocol. Understood. Sleep now? She deactivated the glow pods. Vines dimmed to black. Right proximity builds trust bonds. Consent given. Her form settled onto the bed dome edge. Warmth radiated. Body heat like a furnace. He stripped out her tunic, kept trousers, lay beside her rigid. No moves. Her breathing synced slow, subsonics lulling. Sleep claimed him fast. Dawn pulse throbbed through walls. Ceres rose first. Armored in sleek scale weave, palace walk, follow exact. Elias dressed quick. They exited to atrium corridors. Ceres strode ahead, spines neutral. Guards snapped salutes. Warden Kor among them, eyes locked on Elias. Princess. Envoy. Kor's voice gravel. Search protocol, active. Ceres waved approval. Proceed. Kor waved a scanner wand over Elias's satchel. Beep, red flash. He yanked it open, extracted a compact injector kit. Syringes, vials, autodispenser. Weapon, confiscated. Elias stepped forward, palms up. Medical, adrenaline analogs, antitoxins. Human standard. Kor's spines bristled. Lethal dose for Veyrons, locked until verified. A guard nearby coughed wet. Rasping hacks, clutched arms, scales blistering green. Warden, Vesperin residue. Kitchens again? Kor snarled. Stabilize him. Give it back. Give it back. I fix this. Ceres tensed. Human. 2 minutes. Elias snatched the kit as Kor hesitated. Snapped open. Scanned blister with built-in analyzer. Vesperin variant. Neutralize with epinephrine flush, then binder. Guard slumped against wall. Elias jammed injector to thigh. Hiss. Followed with oral binder tab. Guard's cough eased. Scales faded to silver. Kor stared. How? Practice. Earth labs breed worse. Elias repacked. Kit stays with me. Saves your people. Kor grunted. Holstered scanner. Provisional. One breach, I cull. He stepped aside. Grudging nod. Ceres' eyes widened fractionally. Effective. Forward. They pressed through palace veins. Marble-veined halls twisted under vaulted spines. Nobles clustered at junctions. Whispers cutting off as Elias passed. Ceres flagged each pitfall. Nod there. Avoid slight. Step wide. Crowd yields to royals. Ignore that glare. Odrin's faction probes. One lordling hissed, claw half-drawn. Ceres' spine snapped full. Test me, Kelkin. He retreated. Elias kept pace. Silent. Angled stance perfect. Clerk's vault loomed. Armored door etched with contract runes. Ceres palmed the seal. Inside, hunched Veyron in robes, data slate glowing. Princess Ceres. Envoy. Elias. Marriage writ. Ceres slid the standard tablet forward. Seal as is. Elias scanned lines. Heirs mandatory. Consummation enforced. Dissolution. Queen's whim. No consent. Opt out. Not yet. He tapped addendum field. Insert clause. All rights require explicit consent from both parties. Verbal or writ. Revocable hourly. Breach voids contract. Clerk's spines quivered. Irregular. Queen wants alliance stable. Elias leaned in. Humans bolt from cages. Clause ensures compliance. Seal it, or I walk. Earth recalls me. Ceres watched. Silent. Clerk dithered. Claws twitching. Audrin's voice echoed from corridor. Approaching. Delay. Scandalous. Elias straightened. Seal now. Witnesses. Clerk gulped, stamped the addendum. Hollow seal flared gold. Locked. Ceres snatched the tablet. Bold. Courts hate amendments. Works on Earth. Partnership, not prison. Audrin entered. Aides trailing. Tall, silk-robed spines oiled. Progress or impasse? Ceres raised the sealed writ. Progress. Clause added. Consent paramount. Audrin's eyes narrowed at Elias. Human novelty. Queen approves. She sealed us in. This satisfies. Ceres turned. Back to chambers. They retraced halls. Guards parted wider now. Kor's nod firmer. Nobles murmured. He healed Jor, amended the writ. Ceres leaned close in the lift shaft. You turned scrutiny to strength. Audrin fumes. Elias felt her claw brush his sleeve. Deliberate. Good. Expose his toxin games next. Atrium doors hissed open. Veyra waited inside, flanked by shadows. Report. Saris presented the writ. Sealed. Consent clause holds. Veyra's gaze pierced Elias, insolent, yet pragmatic. Heirs proceed? With consent, Elias said evenly. She waved dismissal. But her spines eased, a fraction. Ceres guided him to strategy nook. Data screens flickered. Kitchen logs. Oran's aid manifests. Vesper and Trace's link to his suppliers. Proof thin. Elias cross-referenced with his kit analyzer. Molecular tag matches. Human forensics flags it. Her claw grazed his hand, lingering. Teach me. He did. Fingers brushed as they synced data. Subsonics hummed approval. Trust thickened. Electric. Alarm chirped. Outer sensors. Core's voice. Intruders at service vents. Audran seals bypassed. Saris spines flared. Defense positions. Elias grabbed kit. I block fence. You flank. She nodded. Partnership ignited. They moved as unit. Vents hissed steam. Shadows slunk. Assassins cloaked in stealth weave. Elias sprayed sealant foam from kit. Human engineering, rapid hard. Sealed two shut. Saris lunged, claws raking. One foe down. Gurgling. Core burst in. Blaster fire. Flank secured. Last shadow fled, but dropped a data chip. Audran's sigil stamped. Saris snatched it. Leverage. Veyra's comm chimed. Interrogate. Chancellor summoned. Elias wiped foam from hands. Saris met his eyes. Full, unshielded. You fight like kin. Consent goes both ways. He smiled. Partners? Claw intertwined fingers. Yes. Audran's plot cracked, but deeper webs stirred. Queen's own gambits. Elias pocketed chip duplicate. Counterstrike launched. Chancellor Audran slammed his data slate on the council dais. Envoy Mercer addresses the High Assembly. Translator Lyra Voss will render his words true. Elias stood at the chamber's center, ringed by tiered benches of scaled nobles. Ceres flanked him, her spines rigid. Veyra loomed on the throne dais, eyes like polished obsidian. Core guarded the perimeter, blaster holstered but grip loose. He nodded to Lyra, a wiry alien with flickering subdermal implants. I propose a partnership with House Sarth, shared defenses. Mutual heirs, only with consent. Lyra's mandibles clicked. Her translation boomed. The human claims ownership over House Sarth. He demands heirs as property, without restraint. Gasps rippled. Spines flared across the benches. Veyra's claws dug into her armrests. Elias's jaw tightened. He tapped his wrist kit subtly, activating the audio logger. Subsonics hummed approval from Saris beside him. Audran leaned forward, scales gleaming. Clarify, Envoy. Ownership, bold for an outsider. Partnership, Elias repeated firmly. Equals, consent from all. Lyra twisted it again. He insists on dominion. Sarth bloodlines as his chattel. Murmurs exploded into shouts. A noble hurled a data orb. It shattered against the floor. Core stepped forward. Blaster drawn. Saris's claw brushed Elias's arm. Warning. He kept his face neutral, Kit recording every syllable. Veyra raised a talon. Silence crashed down. Envoy, retract, or prove intent. Prove? Elias met her gaze. Review the logs. My words stand. Audran smirked. Human tech. Unverified. Council dismisses. Saris's spines quivered. She signaled retreat. Elias followed her from the chamber. Pulse steady. In the strategy nook, data screens glowed. Ceres sealed the door. Lyra twisted partnership to Shakara, ownership in old law tongue. Audran's pick. Elias synced his kit to her console. Recorded it all. Back translate. Her claws danced over keys. Waveforms aligned. Elias fed phrases through his analyzer. Human linguistics module. Calibrated for tonal shifts. Here. He pointed. Partnership logged clean. Lyra swapped to Shakara, mid-render. Subvocal cue from Audran's aid. Saris's eyes widened. Subsonics purring shock. Proof. Witnesses needed. You confront? Elias asked. With you. Her claw grazed his knuckles. Partners. They strode to the translator alcove. Lyra hunched over a terminal, mandibles twitching. Nearby aides froze as Saris entered. "Display session log," Saris commanded. Lyra paled. "Princess?" "Now." Saris projected the back translation. Waveforms blazed. Swap clear as a blaster scar. Gasps from witnesses. An aide bolted. Core intercepted, cuffing them. "You falsified royal speech." Saris ripped Lyra's access credential from her collar. "Stripped. Detained for Queen's justice." Lyra snarled. "Chancellor's orders. Human taints the bloodline." Saris's spines locked. "Escort out." Core hauled Lyra away. Elias pocketed a data dupe. Saris turned to him, gaze softening. "Quick catch. Human ears sharp. Practice." He smiled faintly. "Trust the record." Her claw lingered on his wrist. Warmth spread. Electric. Council reconvened at dusk. Elias took his podium, Saris beside him. Vera watched from above, expression unreadable. Odron rose first. "New evidence circulates. The envoy insulted royal blood, called it property, unfit for heirs." Hisses erupted. Nobles surged forward. "Expel the soft skin." Elias's kit chirped. Rumor nets lighting up. Odron's leak. Viral. Saris slammed her slate. "Lies. Logs prove manipulation." But the chamber boiled. A faction lord, Odron's ally, brandished a hollow. Elias's face, Lyra's twisted words looping. Vera's voice cut through. "Silence. Envoy speaks." Elias stepped up, one word swapped. "Partnership." To ownership. Proof here. He broadcast the back translation. Waveforms filled the air. Irrefutable. Murmurs shifted. Spines lowered fractionally. Odron countered fast. "Human forgery." "He schemes for control," Saris interrupted. "Test it. Independent render." Vera nodded. A neutral translator activated. Elias repeated. "Partnership. Consent." The words echoed true. Gasps turned to growls. At Odron, the chancellor paled. "Rumors persist. Blood purity. Enough." Vera rose. Translator exposed. "Rumors traced to your aides, Chancellor." Odron's scales dulled. He bowed stiffly. "Miscommunication, Majesty." Core's voice crackled over comms. "Perimeter breach. Faction ships inbound." Odron's colors. Chaos ignited. Nobles drew blades. Elias grabbed Saris's arm. "Flank to vents. Your lead." She nodded, claws unsheathing. They dashed through side passages, subsonics sinking their steps. Vera's command boomed. "Defend the envoy. He proves worth." Blaster fire echoed. Elias sprayed sealant foam, sealing a breach. Saris raked a saboteur, dropping them cold. Core joined, covering fire. Chips from assassins match Odron's sigil. Full plot. They burst into the throne vault. Odron cornered, data slate in claws. "Stability demands." Vera entered behind them. "Demands your arrest." Guards swarmed. Odron snarled, activating a hidden blade. Elias lunged, kit taser out. Zap. Chancellor down, twitching. Saris stared. "No kill?" "Justice first." Elias holstered. "Consent, even for foes." Vera's spines eased. Council ratifies union. True partnership. Saris intertwined claws with his. "Heirs, with consent." Elias nodded, warmth building. But his kit pinged. An encrypted file from the Queen's private net. Her own sigil. Gambit deeper. Core hauled Odron away. Interrogation now. Saris leaned close. "You see it too?" "Always." Elias pocketed the file. Partners counter. Vera's gaze lingered on them, calculating. Heirs secured, but whose throne next? Saris's subsonics hummed promise. Elias gripped her claw tighter. Trust sealed in fire. Council chambers thrummed with tension as the doors hissed open. A new figure entered. Emissary from the rim worlds. Eyes on Saris. Alliance offer. Pure blood match. Vera smiled thinly. Game shifted. Elias's kit warmed. Decryption running. What did the Queen hide? Queen Vera slammed her claw on the council dais. The Union stands. But heirs demand proof. The rim world's emissary recoiled, his frills quivering. Elias stood rigid beside Saris, her claw brushing his hand. Council spines rustled in the chamber's humid air. Public fertility assessment? Vera continued. Elias Mercer submits now. Physicians, prepare the protocol. Murmurs swelled. Physicians in iridescent robes shuffled forward, trays clinking with probes and vials. Elias's stomach tightened. He knew the drill from briefings. Invasive scans, exposed vitals, broadcast to every holoscreen on the planet. No privacy, no dignity. He stepped forward. No, silence crashed down. Vera's golden eyes narrowed. Envoy presumes. Protocol violates consent. Elias met her gaze. I propose alternative. Non-invasive blood draw and genetic assay. Full privacy. Your tech calibrated to human baselines. A physician hissed. Human flesh yields nothing to tradition. Saris rose, her subsonics thrumming low approval through Elias's bones. Precedent of Third Concord. Royal decree allows equivalent measures for off-world bonds. Comply. Vera's spines twitched. She scanned Saris, then Elias. Accepted. Privacy sealed. Results in one cycle. The emissary smirked. Rim worlds offer pure heirs. No, experiments. Out. Vera waved him off. Guards herded him through the doors. Elias exhaled. Ceres squeezed his hand. Claws gentle. Trust flickered in her violet eyes. His kit buzzed softly against his thigh. The Queen's encrypted file still decrypting. Physicians led them to the sealed med vault. Sterile lights hummed overhead. Elias rolled up his sleeve. A tech with scarred frills drew the vial, mandibles clicking nervously. Process it clean, Elias said. Human sequencer in my kit verifies. The tech froze. Unnecessary. Saris loomed. Do it. Bile vanished into the analyzer. Elias synced his portable device. Saris watched him work, her tail coiling close. You rewrite their game. Every time. He tapped the screen. Decryption hit 80%. A shadow file. Vera's private ledgers, payments to Odrin's faction. Old Gambit? The analyzer chimed. Physicians clustered around the holo display. Cheers erupted, then cut short. Incompatible, head physician barked. Human seed rejects our matrices. No viable heirs. Gasps echoed from the intercom link to council. Elias's kit pinged alert. Tamper trace. Ceres snarled, spines flaring. Impossible. Vera's voice boomed through speakers. Proof. Union dissolves. Wait. He projected it beside their display. Dual results glowed, his clean green. Theirs spiked red. Falsified markers, he said. Your assay injected synthetic blockers, matches Odrin-grade bribes. The scarred tech bolted for the door. Warden Kor burst in, blaster drawn. Halt! Kor tackled him. Cuffs snapped. Tech babbled. Chancellor paid. Rim emissary sigil too. Cirrus's claws dug into Elias's arm. Not pain. Anchor. You saw it coming. Patterns. Elias held her gaze. His kit finished decryption. File opened. Vera's orders. Not betrayal. Insurance. She'd funded Odrin's probe to test Elias's spine. Prove consort worthy, it read, or break him. Council feed crackled. Vera appeared. Spines relaxed. Truth confirmed. Human competence verified. Heirs proceed. On terms of consent. Cheers thundered. But Elias pocketed the kit. Vera's eyes lingered on the screen, knowing he'd seen. Kor dragged the tech out. Odron's network runs deep. Interrogation yields more. Saris pulled Elias aside, chamber emptying. Her subsonics hummed warmth, vibrating his skin. You refused their body claim. Rewrote it. Mine? He cupped her claw. Always yours. No pawns. She leaned in. Frills brushing his neck. A soft chitter escaped. Rare affection. Duty binds. You make a choice. His pulse quickened. Human stubbornness met alien steel. Partnership forged, but the kit warmed again. New ping. Rimworld's fleet signatures. Inbound. Emissary's offer was cover. Invasion vector. Vera's voice cut private comm. Consort. Council awaits strategy. Your patterns? Elias gripped Saris's claw tighter. Game escalated. Coming, they strode out together. Trust sealed. Threats loomed. Heirs tomorrow. War today. Physicians scrapped the falsified data under Kor's glare. Elias synced full backups to the palace net. Unhackable human encryption. Ceres watched, learning the interface swipe by swipe. Cultural exchange. she murmured. Your tools blind their cheats. Teamwork. He grinned. Her tail flicked approval. Council reconvened in hours. Vera nodded as they entered. Rim threat confirmed. Elias advise. He projected fleet paths from kit scans. Flank vectors weak. Human drone swarm counters. Radio pawn. Spines perked. Aliens excelled at grav shields. Humans swarmed cheap and relentless. Saris added. My riders pierce hulls. Vera approved. Deploy. But whispers rippled. A counselor eyed Elias. Human leads, partners. Ceres snapped. Claws intertwined with his openly now. Kor saluted. Orden clears him. Again. Vera's gaze softened fractionally. Heirs secure. Prove in battle. Elias nodded. No domination. Collaboration. Night cycle fell. In their sealed quarters, Ceres traced his arm scars. Old diplomat wounds. Your flesh endures, stubborn. Consent hummed between them, subsonic syncing his heartbeat. She chittered, test passed. Real bond, dawn broke with alarms. Rim scouts probed orbit. Elias prepped drones, Ceres armed beside him. Fleet war loomed. Queen's Gambit or deeper play. His kit decrypted. Layer 2. Berea's air claws. Ceres elevated on victory. Throne shift. Elias smiled. Partners countered. They launched. Drones swarmed. Ceres's riders struck true. Victory swift. Council hailed. Union eternal. But Elias eyed stars. More signatures. Whose game now? Ceres leaned in. Together? Always. Trust burned bright. Threats circled. Heirs waited. In Medvault aftermath, Elias had cornered the head physician. Upgrade protocols. Human standards. The alien bowed. Consort's wisdom. Ceres smirked. Fish out of water, you drain their pond. He laughed. Cultural thaw. Odrin's cell yielded codes. Kor reported. Rim bribes traced to Queen's old rivals. Vera summoned private. You hold my file. Elias nodded. Test passed. She spines lowered. Stability needs spines like yours. Alliance deepened. Ceres pulled him to balcony. Stars wheeled. Consent for heirs? His hand on her frill. Yes. Bond sealed. Politics bent. Human heart won. But Kit pinged final layer. Vera's voice. True thread internal. Watch Counselor Lear. Book turned. Gain eternal. Ceres clamped her taloned hand around Elias's wrist. She hauled him through the vaulted doors into the reception hall. Crystal chandeliers hummed with bioluminescent spores. Nobles swirled in iridescent robes, spines flickering in coded threats. Eyes forward, she hissed. Her frill pulsed against his shoulder. They test consorts with blades. Fail and you bleed. Elias flexed his fingers. Human diplomats trained for worse than posturing. He scanned the crowd. Chancellor Odrin Kell lounged at the high dais, eyes like polished obsidian. Warden Corvale shadowed the perimeter, armored plates clicking softly. A rival lord stepped forward. Lord Terran Voss, spines fully erect. His entourage chittered approval. Human, Voss snarled, drawing a curved knife etched with binding runes. Prove your claim. First blood, or forfeit the princess's claw. The hall hushed. Ceres tensed beside him. Her grip tightened, a warning, or a plea. Elias met Voss's gaze. No duel. Humans bartered empires, not bruises. I decline the blade. Murmurs rippled. Instead, I offer trade. Human fusion tech for your Rimworld silicates. Binding contract witnessed here. Voss blinked. Spines drooped a fraction. You dodge honor? Honor builds alliances. Elias pulled a data slate from his tunic. Sign, and your house gains warp drives. Refuse, and probe my weakness alone. Odrin leaned forward from the dais. His mandibles clicked thoughtfully. Kor's hand hovered near his stun lance. Ceres's frill brushed Elias's neck. Subsonics hummed approval. Voss hesitated. The knife lowered, bold. For the princess, I accept. He slashed his palm, pressing it to the slate. Runes glowed. Deal sealed. The hall erupted in chitters. Ceres exhaled, talons easing on his wrist. Clever fish. They expected gore. Elias pocketed the slate. Diplomacy's my blade. Queen Vera rose from her throne-like perch. Her voice boomed, amplified by throat sacs. "To the Union!" Toast on the balcony. Servitors herded the crowd outward. Saris led Elias to the open-air platform. Stars glittered above the palace spires. Wind carried scents of ozone and nectar vines. Goblets floated on anti-grav trays, filled with fizzing nectar. Vera lifted hers. May spines entwine, heirs flourish. Elias raised his. Saris mirrored, her eyes locking on his. Trust flickered there. Earned, not given. A low groan echoed. Cracks spiderwebbed the balcony's crystal canopy. Shards rained. The entire structure buckled. "Sabotage!" Kor bellowed. Nobles screamed. Ceres froze mid-sip. Goblet tumbling. Elias lunged. He tackled her over the railing's low wall. They hit the stone floor rolling. Her frill slammed his chest. Subsonics, spiking panic. The balcony sagged. A massive strut tore free, swinging like a scythe. Voss dangled from a ledge, talons scrabbling. Odran scrambled back inside. Vera's guards swarmed, but the failing arch pinned half the platform. "Elias!" Cirrus gasped, pushing up, her robes tangled. He scanned. Load-bearing vines reinforced the struts. Alien engineering, flexible but brittle under shear. The central pylon twisted, ready to drop 10 tons of crystal on them. His belt. Cargo pants pockets. Improvise. Elias yanked his utility belt free. Reinforced nylon weave, rated for 0G hauls. He looped it around a surviving vine anchor. "Hold still!" Saris's spines flared. "What?" He dashed to the pylon base, wedged the belt through a stress fracture, tying it off to the railing stanchions. Load-sharing rig. Distribute the weight across 3 points. Human spacer trick. Born from asteroid mining mishaps. The strut groaned lower. Elias grabbed a fallen goblet tray. Magnetic alloy. He slapped it over the belt's friction points, wedging it tight. Instant pulley brace. Vera's voice cut through chaos. "Consort! The drop!" He braced his shoulder under the pylon lip, muscles burned. "Saris, pull Voss up!" She sprang, talons hooked the Lord's arm. With a heave, she yanked him to safety. Kor's team fired grapples, securing the edges. Elias held. Sweat stung his eyes. The structure stabilized. Vibrations eased. Guards hauled him back. Saris crashed into him, frill enveloping his face. Subsonics thrummed. Gratitude. Fierce. "You anchored it." Her mandibles brushed his jaw. Human strength. Human mind. Kor knelt by the brake. Charges. Nano-explosives. Rim faction mark. Odran appeared. Spines low. An outrage. The Union stands stronger. Vera descended, robes swirling. She eyed Elias. "You saved my bloodline, again." Elias stood, belt frayed but intact. Partnerships hold weight. Saris clung closer. Her claw traced his arm. Consent pulsed, deeper now. But his calm buzzed. Kit analysis, explosive residue, matched palace stores. Internal. Counselor Lur's sigil flashed on the display. Game turned. Saris noticed. Threat? Elias nodded. Closer than stars, she chittered, fierce. "We hunt together," knives sharpened, balcony held. Trust solidified. But shadows lengthened in the court. Saris yanked Elias through the palace corridors. Her talons dug into his sleeve. War room. Mother waits. Name the faction. Elias matched her stride. His belt still hummed from the sabotage fix. Comm data burned in his pocket. Palace nano-explosives, Lear's sigil. Internal rot. Not yet. Need confirmation. She hissed, frill flaring. "You saw the sigil. Speak." Guards parted at vault doors. Ceres palmed the seal. Holo panels ignited inside, mapping the Rim faction's outposts. Queen Vera stood at the central orb. Spines rigid. Chancellor Odran flanked her, spines tucked low. Warden Kor loomed in shadow, optics scanning Elias. Vera's gaze locked on. "Consort, your kit pinged threats. Expose them." Elias stepped forward. Air hummed with data streams. Residue matches Palace Labs. Lear's mark on the batch. But Rim faction doesn't brew their own. Too crude. Ceres coiled beside him. Her scent sharpened. Pheromones of impatience. "Lear, my aunt's advisor?" Audran leaned in. "Counselor Lear serves loyally. Rim agitators stole the stock." Elias ignored him. Elias pulled his comb, projected the chem scan, peaks aligned perfect. Batch logged out yesterday. Signed by Lab Tech Voss. 7. Not stolen. Deployed. Core growled. Voss. 7 cleared my sweeps. Veyra's mandibles clicked. Proof? Elias tapped the orb. Overlaid access logs. Human audit standard. Cross-check timestamps. Voss. 7's shift ends in 1 hour. Bait him. Ceres's claw brushed Elias's hand. Warmth pulsed. Approval. You anticipated. Not anticipation. Procedure. Elias faced core. Warden. Step by step. Isolate Voss. 7's station. Fake a residue alert. Monitor comms. Sting him mid-denial. Core's optics narrowed. Humans cracked under palace stress. This one scripted takedowns like breath. He snatched a printed audit slate Elias offered. Steps crisp. Seals. Tails. Intercepts. No flaws. Execute, Veyra ordered. Core saluted, vanished into the vents. Ceres tugged Elias to a side console. You command my mother's guard. Her frill grazed his shoulder. Subsonics thrummed low. Curiosity edged with heat. Teamwork, Elias said. Your tech, my playbook. Odron cleared his throat spines. Bold consort, but Lear's household's rim treaties, accuse lightly. Veyra waved him silent. Orb flickered. Core's feed live. Lab bays gleamed sterile. Voss, 7 hunched over a mixer, mandibles twitching. Alarm blared. Residue trace. Tech froze. Comms lit. Chief, false ping? Core's voice boomed from hidden speakers. Report to security. Now. Voss bolted. Talons scraped tile. Core's team swarmed. Grapples pinned him mid-sprint. Traitor, Voss spat. Rim pays better. Elias zoomed the feed. Traced the cred transfer. Core ripped Voss's implant. Data spilled. Encrypted bursts. Routed through palace relays. Endpoint glowed. Chancellor's outer office. Odrin's spines shot upright. Veyra whirled. Chancellor. Odrin bowed low. Fabrication. Voss lies. Ceres snarled. Payments don't lie. Core dragged Voss into the war room. Tech dangled limp. Optics dim. Confessed majesty. Odrin funneled funds via shell aids. Rim was cover. Splinter your union before heirs bond. Elias crossed arms. Humans endured audits. Aliens danced politics. Competence cut through. Veyra's gaze pinned Odron. Explain. Oron straightened. Stability demands redirection. Humans weaken thrones. I preserved the trade. Veyra signaled Core. Guards hauled Odrin out. Doors sealed. Silence hummed. Orb dimmed. Ceres pressed against Elias. Her claw traced his chest plate. You unraveled my court. Consent pheromones flooded. Rich, inviting. Elias met her eyes. Golden slits dilated. Partnership deepened. But Veyra stepped close. Consort. Her voice softened steel. You shield my line. Name your price. Co-regency. Rim governorship. Throne shadow. Power unbound. Elias felt the weight. Aliens bartered thrones like contracts. Humans built trust. He glanced at Ceres. Her frill quivered. Watching. No shadows. He pulled a fresh slate. Typed fast. Public pact terms. Accountability charter. All labs audited open. Council votes transparent. Marriages by consent. Logs, not decrees. Publish it galaxy-wide. Veyra's mandibles parted. You reject power? Power erodes without checks. Elias handed the slate. We partner equal, or fracture. Ceres chittered approval. Talons laced his fingers. Heat built, real bond forming. Veyra scanned the terms. Claws hovered, radical, but stable. She etched her seal. Orb broadcast ignited. Edict of Elias. The union endures. Court feeds lit. Cheers erupted distant halls. Odrin's faction crumbled live. Core nodded respect. Human snare. Flawless. Ceres pulled Elias aside. Lips brushed his ear. My consort, hunt done. Now, claim. Elias grinned. Stubborn diplomat met royal fire. Consent sealed it. But his comb pinged private. Lear's sigil again. Not ended. Deeper web. Shadows coiled tighter. Theris led Elias from the war room. Corridors buzzed with edict relays. Guards saluted sharper. Her grip tightened possessive. Mother yields to you. Checks and balances. Elias flexed his frayed belt. Human grit held. Your mother's strategic. She'll adapt. They reached her chambers. Doors hissed open. Inner sanctum glowed soft. Silk drapes, hollow gardens, simulating lost worlds. Saris barred the entrance. Frill fully extended, pheromones thick as mist. You rewrote our laws. She circled him slow. Talons skimmed his tunic. For trust. Elias caught her wrist gentle, skin electric where scales met flesh. Arranged or not, no pawns. Consent first. Her mandibles grazed his neck. Subsonics vibrated deep. Desire raw. Test passed. Again. She pressed close. Body heat dwarfed his. Species curves meshed odd but right. Elias pulled her in. Lips met chitin smooth. She tasted of spice and stars. Claws shredded his tunic. He mapped her frill triggers. Nerves aliens hid. Gasps escaped her. Bed sank under weight. Her strength pinned him playful. He countered with leverage. Hips rolled precise. Partnership in motion. Dawn filters glowed. Saris curled against him. Claw drummed his chest. Heirs now viable. Elias stroked her spines. Romance bloomed from duty. But calm vibrated insistent. Lear's encrypted burst. Consort. Odran pawn. True threat. Core fleet. Meat or thrones burn. Game escalated. Elias silenced it. Saris stirred. Threat? Together, he kissed her frill. Knives stayed sharp. Core burst into the war room feed earlier looped in Elias's mind. But now, post-eat, palace thrummed alive. Beira summoned again. Private audience. Elias entered alone. Saris trained with guards. Queen sat throne orb, maps shifting. Charter spreads. Rivals scatter. Good. Elias stood firm, no bow. She eyed him. You humble power. Why? Seen empires pawn people. Breaks faster than builds. Human history. Quick lessons. Veira rose, touched his shoulder. Rare warmth. My daughter bonds true. You forge it. Footsteps echoed. Core entered. Voss in tow, chained. Tech cracked more. Audran's ledgers. Lear funded half. But source. Off-world proxy. Elias snatched the data chit. Traced flows. Human audit eyes spotted it. Layered shells. Ending at neutral station, not rim. Core worlds. Your fleet admirals? Veira's spines lashed. Impossible. Core growled assent. But Elias saw doubt flicker. Saris arrived then. Training yields drills from your audit. Guards. Stronger. Elias nodded. Collaboration clicked. But Lear's message loomed. Public pact held court. But chants erupted from the court as Elias gripped Saris's hand on the central dais. Crystal spires hummed with projected vows. The Queen's decree binding them before packed nobles. Odran's voice cut through, amplified. Halt! The Queen's pact betrays the realm. Guards froze. Comms grids flickered red. Seized. Odran's agents burst from side arches, stunners raised. They swarmed the throne platform, pinning Warden Core against a pillar. Shouts cascaded. Nobles scattered or knelt. Elias squeezed Saris's spines. Their sting plan ignited. Now, he whispered. She nodded, frill flaring signal blue. Ceres slammed her palm on the dais crystal. Backup circuits. Elias's human-rigged overrides snapped live. Palace lights dimmed to strobes, disorienting the intruders. Core, flank! Left, she barked. Core twisted free, his baton cracking an agent's jaw. Elias lunged right, tackling a stunner-wielding noble. Human reflexes, honed on colony runs, dodged the blast. He wrenched the weapon free, fired low. The agent crumpled, legs locked. Saris moved like liquid steel. Her training blade sliced a comm jammer from an intruder's belt. Grid reroute. Elias slapped his data chit into the dais port. Audits from earlier flooded the system, exposing Odran's hidden codes. Comms rebooted green. All units converge on Chancellor. Odran's face twisted on the main hollows. Traitors, the fleet stands with me. But his agents faltered. Core's guards poured in from sealed corridors. Drills Elias audited yesterday. They netted 3 more, spines bound. Elias pinned Odran against the throne orb as Saris flanked him. The Chancellor snarled, claws scraping stone. You insects. Core Admiral's back true power. Ceres's blade hovered at his throat. Yield. Your ledgers sing. Elias yanked the chit's mirror from Odron's robe. Flows to Lear, then fleet proxies confirmed. Core hauled Voss forward, the chained tech nodding. Fleet pings traced. Admirals inbound, but jammed. Vera rose from her shadowed alcove. Spines rigid. Secure him. Guards dragged Odron below. Cheers mixed with gasps rippled through the court. Palace control restored in minutes. Elias wiped sweat, met Ceres's gaze. Her frill pulsed soft violet. Trust earned in chaos. Ceres turned to the queen. Throne room hushed. Mother, this decree ends as order. We claim it as choice. Vera's eyes narrowed, maps on her orb shifting to red alerts. Choice weakens thrones. Stability demands heirs. Ceres stepped forward. Hand in Elias's. Stability forges in bonds, not chains. He proved it. Grids, audits. Humans bend, don't break. Elias stood silent, letting her lead. Vera's gaze flicked to him. Spines twitched. Appraisal. You turned my blade on rivals. Speak. Partnerships last, Elias said. Empires pawn people. They shatter. We build. Court nobles leaned in. Whispers buzzed. Human words rippling alien tongues. Vera paused. Fleet pings blinked on her orb. Admirals holding. Coup crushed. Witness, she intoned. Crystal spires glowed. The pact renews. Ceres faced Elias. No robes, just scars from the fight. Elias Mercer. I offer spines and strategy. Will you match with audits and resolve? Equals, not decree. He stroked her frill, spines relaxing under his touch. Ceres Sarth. I offer hands and history. Partners in court and core. Consent seals it. They clasped forearms, human grip meeting alien coil. Court erupted in stunned roars. Nobles bowed. Core saluted sharp. Vera nodded once, warmth cracking her chill. Viable heirs, realm holds. But Elias's calm buzzed faint. Lear's proxy line untraced, consort wed. Fleet waits your word. Game lingered. Ceres leaned close, breath warm on his neck. Together? Always. Knives stayed sharp. Court dispersed under Core's watch. Elias and Ceres retreated to the war room, doors sealing, maps updated. Odron's agents in cells, fleet admirals queried. Vera joined via holo, her orb projecting live feeds. Interrogations yield? She asked. Core grunted from beside her. Odron cracked slow. Names Lear as pawn, but Core proxy. Your human trace holds. Elias pulled the chit, fingers flying over interfaces, human accounting sliced shells, neutral station masked admiral codes. 3 flagged, recall them. Ceres cross-checked with her blade-side console. Drills integrate your overrides. Guards repel borders now. Collaboration clicked seamless. Vera's spines eased. You forge faster than courts divide. Romance threaded duty. Elias traced Ceres's arm, spines curling toward him. She pressed close, frill vibrating low hum, content. But Lear's buzz persisted. Elias silenced it again. Public vows held the court. Private threats loomed. Hours later, in their sealed chambers, Ceres shed armor. You fought like kin. She pulled him down, spines framing his shoulders. Teamwork. He kissed her frill, eliciting a purr. Species bridged. Human endurance. Her precision. Vera's voice interrupted via wall panel. Consort, fleet admiral en route. Proxy confirmed. Test your pact. Elias rose, alert. Ceres armed beside him. Ready. They met the admiral in the antechamber. Tall, spines scarred from wars. Core flanked. Stunner primed. Chancellor lied. The admiral growled. Odron twisted orders. I pledged to the pact. Ceres eyed him. Proof. Elias scanned the offered chit. Flows clean. No shells. Human eyes verified. Clear. Admiral bowed. Humans. Unyielding. Core snorted. Watched him snap agents barehanded. Vera arrived in person, throne orb trailing. Fleet secured. Pact stands. Word feeds broadcasted. Vows reborn. Rivals chained. Nobles chanted. Partnership. Elias caught Ceres's glance. Violet trust deepened. But his pocket con warmed. Lear's final burst. Pawn falls. Proxy rises. Core burns unless he crushed it underfoot. Ceres noticed. Threat? Handled. He pulled her close. Consent forged steel. Queen watched, spine still. Heirs viable. But games play long. Palace thrummed stable. Elias and Ceres walked the halls, guards nodding respect. Cultural rifts mended, human audits strengthening alien drills. In the garden spires, under false stars, Ceres traced his jaw. Duty bloomed true. Partners. He kissed her, spines wrapping gentle. Fleet hummed distant. Rivals scattered. But core shadows stirred. Core's voice crackled. Consort. Off-world ping. Lear surfaces. Elias grinned to Ceres. Sting too? Her frill flared blue. Together, they moved as one.